Good morning and thank you for joining us, everybody. My name is Larry Little. I'm the Public Information Officer here at the County's Emergency Operations Center. I'm also the Managing Editor of the Facebook Live segments that you see here in English. And the reason I tell you that is from time to time you will see me in the comments. Also, I want to let you know that safety is a priority for us here at the EOC, not only at the EOC, but also in this studio. During the broadcast, we remove our face masks so everyone can properly understand what we are communicating. But I want to let you know, when we come into the building, we have to go through a nurse's station. They check our temperature. I've never had my temperature checked so much in my entire life to make sure that everyone is okay. We also advise people to stay at home if you feel sick. Our production team also takes time to mark spaces within this studio to make sure that we are 6 feet or more apart. Another thing we do as well as we get tested on a regular basis because of the work that we are doing. Everyone in this studio was tested this week and we are negative, of course. But there are times when we make mistakes and we do get a little bit too close because this is like home. We're here more than we are at home, but we are made aware of those mistakes and we correct it. But you know, we also have loved ones and are part of this community as well, and we want to slow the spread of COVID-19, so it's very important to us. I thought I should address it since some of you have expressed concerns about us having the face mask off while we're in the studio or if we are actually 6 feet apart. All right, today we're going to be answering some of your questions that have come in to us via Facebook to our FAQ team, as well as to the call center, and Todd is here this morning because he has all of the answers all the time. Todd, it has been a roller coaster of a week. The county was to go into a certain phase, and of course I want to explain that to people as well. This is how it works with mandates. It's the state, the county, the city. So I know a lot of people believe that Dr. Cody was responsible for making the changes that took place on Wednesday, and that is not the case as well. Dr. Cody does not wake up in the morning and say bye to her family and comes to work with all of this power and says, I want to close every place that puts pickles on their burgers. That's just not how it happens. No one benefits from that in the county. When things are closed, it creates a deficit in your pockets as well as in the county's pockets as well as the city. So a lot of changes. People have a lot of questions.
Yes. We're
going to answer some of those today. And then we will get to the data dashboard in just a moment. Thanks for being here, Todd.
Anytime.
So our first question that came to us, it says, are bars and breweries supposed to remain closed at this time?
So this is a question we've been getting a lot of because there's a lot of confusion between the state and there's just been a general confusion this week with what the state's announcement was and what we were pushing out. So, I mean, it's completely understandable that our community is a little confused. So with bars, breweries, brew pubs, and pubs, they would be allowed to operate outdoors as long as they're providing food service, which means a meal. And that meal and alcohol purchase needs to be on the same receipt. If it's not on the same receipt, they would not be allowed to operate at that time. So they would have to ensure that that meal and that beverage falls under the same receipt, and they can do catering, they can do a food truck if need be to provide that service as well.
That's a good opportunity to team up for businesses.
Absolutely.
Right now. Next question says, are contractors that have their main offices outside of the county required to submit a social distancing protocol?
Yeah, we have a huge influx of contractors and construction companies emailing us right now, but if you're a contracting business outside of the county and you're subcontracting to a general contractor here for a job site, you would still need to submit a social distancing protocol and provide that social distancing protocol to the general contractor, who will also have their own social distancing protocol to manage that site. So the intention is that the subcontractor will have their protocol and the general contractor will have their protocol, but the social distancing protocol for the site will be all-encompassing, and it'll include characteristics of those subcontractors coming in as well.
And they can always contact us if they have any questions.
Absolutely, they can contact our business line, and thank you for bringing that up. We have people staffing our phones 5 days a week. Typically, we'll be there over the weekend, this weekend again, to help out with our community, and they can call us at 408-961-5500.
Question, are camps for children still allowed to resume?
Yes, parents can continue to send their kids to camp, especially those camps that are outdoors. They would still need to continue to follow our guidance that we provided on our website, which is including, pods of 12, making sure that they're in that pod for that 3-week period of time before they move on to another group. Indoor camps are still allowed, but with the governor's announcement that came down earlier in the week, those type of camps that are taking place in, say, a fitness facility or a gym, there's still some confusion about that, and our illustrious county council team is reaching out to the state currently to make sure that we're clear on how those type of camps would be allowed to resume for the future.
That's one thing about this county. I've lived in a lot of counties. I'm not going to mention them because I may have to go there and work at some point. But this county does a great job of taking care of the people, and I don't say it because I work here, but as soon as the governor made the announcement, someone was coming from across the street at our EOC there saying, well, can this business do this and open? So we're working very diligently trying to get businesses to be reopened here. This question says, are gyms completely closed? That made me sad.
Obviously.
Can they operate outside?
Great question. I, as you, are looking forward to going back to the gym. Gyms for indoor operations would not be allowed to operate at this time. The state, as well as our directives, allow for gyms to continue their activities outdoors. So the minute they move that operation outdoors, they would need to follow our guidance for fitness and gyms, as well as the guidance for outdoor gatherings. Because if you can't have more than 60 people, you need to ensure that people are wearing face coverings still, and you want to make sure they're still 6 feet apart at all times. So it's kind of an amalgamation of 2 different guidances at that point, because if you are bringing out equipment to utilize with your trainings and group activities, they need to make sure they're sanitized before uses and so forth. So they need to make sure they're following both guidance.
Mm-hmm. Are outdoor gatherings still allowed?
So as of Monday, when the announcement was made from the state, the only outdoor gatherings that would be currently allowed are those for cultural or religious ceremonies or for protests. The 1 person per household doesn't necessarily apply anymore due to the state's announcement. Once our cases get better, we may default back to that. But as of right now, the state's announcement doesn't allow for outdoor gatherings outside of those 2 spectrums.
All right. Are home-based businesses required to submit a social distancing protocol form?
Yes. So if you have a home-based business where you have customers potentially coming to your home or employees that are potentially coming to your home, you would need to submit a social distancing protocol through our website. But if you're just a home-based business where you have no interaction with the public or anyone else, employee or otherwise, you would not necessarily need to submit a social distancing protocol at this time. So, but those, again, who have employees or customers coming to their home, they would be required to submit a social distancing protocol, absolutely. I'm
looking at the comments here and it says,
oh boy,
it looks like he just got a haircut a day ago.
No.
And I did get a haircut, but the salons open, the hair salons, the nail salons, they open for 2 days. I was actually on the phone with my barber and I said, your vacation is over, and we were joking, and just within a few seconds I heard the air go out of the room because the governor made the announcement that they had to close again. So we are very connected with the industry. We have friends that own salons, and we understand that they're going through a very difficult time right now. We're going to talk about risk reduction in just a moment, but let's take a look at the data dashboard. We have in the county, as of yesterday, cumulative cases, 7,046 cases, 176 deaths, 3 of those new deaths, and definitely our thoughts are with the families who have lost loved ones due to COVID-19. Here we are seeing a spike, as you can see. in the numbers. It's been going up. And with some businesses even being closed, we're seeing
Absolutely.
a spike in the numbers here, and we have to get those down. I see your questions about the hospital. Yes, the hospital numbers are going up, but what we should focus on is getting the overall numbers down.
Absolutely.
In the county and slowing the spread, and that's going to help us return to somewhat of a normal state. And yes, the county does appear on a list that came out that required several of those businesses to be closed. But the way you get off that list, I don't know this for sure, but it's math. It's you slow the spread in your county, and the hospitalization rates are going to go down as well as the deaths. Let's talk about risk reduction, because that's the phase we were expected to move in, but people should be doing it anyway because it's definitely going to slow the spread. And just talk about risk reduction for a moment.
Absolutely, and I think Dr. Cody did a very great job earlier on this week of really providing a message to our community of personal accountability and responsibility, because we went from a SIP, the shelter-in-place kind of model, to transitioning into the risk reduction, and that really emphasizes the responsibility of the individuals to continue to follow the social distancing requirements. You know, we have a post that came up earlier this week on social media that over 65% of our cases are coming from community transmission. Well, how do we stop that community transmission? We stop it by wearing our face coverings when we're not at home. We stop it by not congregating with people outside of our household. We stop it by maintaining that 6 feet when we're out buying groceries or getting those goods that we need in order to work from home or survive, and so forth. And conversely, it's really the responsibility of the businesses as well to make sure that they're strictly adhering to their social distancing protocols, which are making sure people are wearing their face coverings that are required to wear their face coverings. We obviously know we have exemptions for those who medically can't wear one, or for those who are under the age of 2. Making sure that the 6 feet is still adhered to, and making sure that those high-touch surfaces are still sanitized regularly. So risk reduction really kind of focuses in on the personal accountability of the individuals we have in this county, and to make sure that people aren't going out there and congregating and partying with people outside of their household. You know, make sure that you follow the rules, and that's how we slow the spread. The faster we slow the spread, the faster we get back to some type of normalcy or way of life we had before.
And I told you, I'm in the comments constantly.
All about you, Larry.
Someone says, how come you two aren't wearing face masks? Of course, I explained that in the beginning of the program, that we remove our face masks so everyone can clearly understand the information that we're sharing. I was born and raised in Arkansas, so my pronunciation may not be familiar to you, so if I muffle with my mask on, you may not understand. But trust me, I have them. I actually, you know, I'm at an age where I forget things, so I actually have 2. And I put them on right when we're done with this broadcast. And, you know, it's very important, you know, I mentioned as well that Todd and I tested on, was the 14th?
About 4 days ago.
And here are the results here. Todd is negative, I'm negative. We wear face coverings all day while we're here at the EOC. We're more than 6 feet apart, but it's very important to get tested to know your status as well. And I was tested the other day, and I'm a baby, and this is probably too much information, but my nose has been very dry for the entire week, but I still got tested. And just take a look at the video here.
Oh my Lord.
It does not hurt at all. And she had a heavy hand like a boxer or something like that. Or somebody's been going to the gym. But it's a very simple process. It takes at most about 30 seconds, not painful.
Is that a tear in your eye, Larry?
At all. My tear ducts don't even work anymore. Let's see if we have some more questions here. So the governor is supposed to make another announcement this week, or I mean.
So our understanding is that the governor is going to be making an announcement today. We believe it's going to be focused more on schools and how they will be allowed to operate in the fall. But typically with the state, we'll know what the state has to say when the state has to say it.
Right, and I know a lot of times people are saying, when we do these broadcasts, they say that's not the information I'm looking for. When information comes from the state or directives change, we let you know as soon as possible. Trust me, we let you know. Anything else to add? I don't think we have any more pressing questions. Of course, I'll be in the comments to answer what I can.
Absolutely. And I think you bring up a good point about information. And the best way our community can continue to stay informed is sign up for our newsletter on our public health website. Please continue to monitor our social media accounts. They're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. We post a lot. We provide a lot of information. People want to know how fast and how quickly we disseminate information. Social media and obviously our press releases and so forth. We use every avenue we possibly can to make sure our community is informed. So if you're not informed, I don't know what to tell you.
But you know, we know everyone's not on social media, so
absolutely.
We rely on you who are watching to be an influencer, one, by telling people why we should be doing the things to slow the spread in the county, but as well share this information with them. We understand everyone is not on Facebook or YouTube. So
Absolutely.
So yeah. All right, well, that's it. In vivo con el Condario de Santa Clara comienza a las 11 aquí mismo. How did I do?
All right.
Yeah, I'm practicing. Anyway, Facebook Live in Spanish comes up at 11. We hope you will join us for that. Be safe, everyone. Have a great weekend. We hope these numbers will go down, and we hope the salons will open because I love my haircuts.
I need one.
Stay safe. Have a good weekend.